Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shamira Benson, one part of Team Benson, and it's been quite a chilly morning, but I am out to do a garden tour. Let me show you how beautiful this garden is right now, guys, because it has a lot going on. So I think we're gonna start up at the beginning because I see some of the sun starting to peek through. Now I'm gonna be doing a lot in the garden this week, guys, because I have a couple things that I want to plant. I want to drop some seeds in the ground, and I need to start harvesting some things so that then we can start getting them in the freezer. So let's just go through and look at how beautiful things are. Every morning I wake up and I just do this. I just scan all the greatness. This is literally what makes gardening in the summer and getting everything planted early like so worth it. So over here we have our carrots, which are starting to look really good. I've been digging down in here just a little bit. I'm starting to feel like little roots, or like the carrot coming in. So that's exciting. We have our leeks right here in the middle. We have some random celery right here because why not? And then we also have our trio, our thyme, rosemary, and sage. And then we have our Thai basil, which I did nothing with this year, but it is looking beautiful. I think I'm just gonna save some Thai basil seeds, but I do wanna start using it. Hopefully I can make a soup to do it. And then we have some sage right below it. Isn't that gorgeous? That's just the top of our Vego garden bed. At the bottom, because we have the cascading one, we have some chervil, which I'm gonna be using this in a video coming up, guys. And then we also have some oregano back here. We have some more thyme, some parsley, some more parsley, and some sage. I do want to get dill planted in here too. And you won't believe it, but remember when I thought this was a weed, guys, and it grew in place of where my sweet marjoram was? Nope. I ran my fingers across it and smelt it, and it smells just like sweet marjoram. I'm excited. Now, I thought I had lost that plant because it was shoved underneath my barbecue grill when they did the painting on it. And so it looked like it had died, and that sweet marjoram plant is pretty old. It was actually in the original herb bed that I had here before I got my Vego garden bed. And I dug it up, put it in that pot to try and save it to be able to transplant it or put it in its own pot since it takes over. And it was done. It was so done. I was very, very sad about it. But it came back, and now I'm excited about that because I love sweet marjoram and it works really good in my asthma blend. Now, with all of the brassicas that I'm so excited about, this one is my favorite. I have some mustard greens. I'm gonna start picking some more of these. I wanna get a lot of these in the freezer and just get them really growing as I can. I can't grow my greens into like the summer like most people, so I try to make sure I use every leaf. We have some collards over here. We have our rosemary right here. All of these planters are getting planted out. I'm going to be planting some stuff coming up this week, but we also have some spearmint right there that's going to go into a hanging pot situation. We have our collards all right here, which are all looking nice and beautiful. And then in between here, guys, can you see all the garlic? There's so much garlic in between. I'm super excited. I'm hoping for a good garlic year. And then we have some Brussels sprouts, which I don't think I'm growing Brussels sprouts. It'll be fine. I give up on growing Brussels sprouts, I believe. But we are going to use these leaves. I'm just going to throw them in with my collards. And then we have a dinosaur kale right there, one of my favorite kales. This lettuce is going to seed, so we're going to go ahead and pull that one because it was a grocery store one. But this one, look at that. This is the other grocery store one, and look at the head on this. This is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. We have some more dinosaur kale back there with some garlic tucked in there. We have a beautiful, beautiful celery, guys. Look at these stalks coming in. That is gorgeous. I'm going to go through and start pruning my celery plants so I can show you guys what I do with them, as well as I cannot keep up on this Swiss chard. We only have I want to say 3 or 4 plants over here, but oh my goodness, they're huge. We have some romaine lettuce right there, and then some dinosaur kale right there, and then another mustard green right there. Guys, we 100% cannot keep up with this Swiss chard. I swear I've hacked at it so many times that we've made so many dishes with it, and it's been delicious and yummy, but the leaves are just so big. So you don't really need that many like leaves. Like if I were to make like greens, like collard greens, those leaves are a lot smaller. This Swiss chard is just, it's ridiculous. It grows to like this size in like a week. So it's like we're having Swiss chard every day, but yeah, it's crazy. So I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start freezing some of the Swiss chard, because one of you guys had said, oh yeah, Swiss chard is kind of like spinach, and I was like, that's kind of true. I use it the same way that I use spinach, but I've never thought of freezing it, because for some odd reason I just looped it in with my lettuce. So because I also eat Swiss chard raw maybe. But we are going to put some in the freezer and let that be that, because it's massive and we're getting tired of eating Swiss chard. Now moving along down here, we have our peppers. So this one is a chili pepper that I don't have any chili peppers on here. I went through and harvested them all, but now it's starting to flower again. So I'm gonna do an upcoming video of what I'm doing with all the different peppers. But we have our cabbage here. Yep, this is a Jersey cabbage because it is starting to cone. I'm pretty excited about that. I do want to come out and take some of these leaves, these bottom leaves off of it, because I want to do maybe like some cabbage wraps or something like that. We have Big Nisi back here. She is a eggplant, and it's also the daughter of this eggplant, Miss Eggy, who has some nice eggplant on her, just one of them so far. But this one is going on, I think 5 or 6 years old. I've lost count at this point in time. It's old. And then we have our mint. This one is a regular mint, and the other one is a chocolate or spearmint. And I did get my chocolate mint, guys. That's going to be coming up in an upcoming video too. We have our shishito peppers. We're getting some more little peppers on here. I did a big harvest on the shishito plant, and we have 2 more shishitos here. So these ones are starting to flower and produce some more shishitos too. This one is our berry. I think it's a blackberry that I planted in here. I probably should have put a label in here, but this one's the blackberry that we have going. I'm going to move this to a different spot, probably over there, right there somewhere, but for right now it's just sitting right here. Actually, you know what, guys, I think, yeah, it is a blackberry. It is a blackberry. And look at this. Would you guys look at how huge this thing has gotten? It's ridiculously huge. I'm excited. It's gonna fill these arches at least halfway, if not like 3/4 of the way of each arch on each side. So I'm just stoked for that, like all of that. Now I do need to come in and trim it. Like this is gonna need some air, so I want to do come in and trim it, but for right now it's just living its best life. And it's absolutely full of cherry tomatoes. I don't know if you guys can see those back there, but they're everywhere on here. They're hard to see because they're green and the plant's green, but there's tons of just black cherry tomatoes all up in here. Like you can see more right there too. I am thinking we're gonna get a really great harvest this year. I'm pretty excited about that. Now we do have the peas that have attached itself to the black cherry tomato. They're like, whatever, we're gonna grow, and it's starting to produce, so we're just gonna let it because we wanted some peas anyway. Also below it we have our basil, which is now starting to go to seed. I really need to come in and just cut this all the way back and let it go dormant for February, and then that way it'll bush back out during the spring. So that's going to be on my list to harvest too. I've been composting in here. So if you guys remember, this is where the ginger was. The worms ate all the ginger and it was gross. Although the ginger was growing, it was just gross. So I put some banana peels and some lettuce in there too, because my plan is going to be to take all this dirt and use this dirt in there when it comes time, because it'll be full of castings. So guys, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've always made it a point to be very intentional about what I do with my garden space. If I have a pot that I don't need something in it right away, which we have a lot going on back here, I want to try and compost as much as I can, so that then I'm buying less compost and I'm using more compost from my garden. So that was just full of worms. There's so many worms in there, and I have red wiggler worms, which are a composting worm. They're different from a regular earthworm. So they will produce a ton of castings. Like when I say a ton, I mean like a metric ton of castings. So, which is very helpful for all of my garden. As you can see, my broccoli back there grew huge just because of the amount of nitrogen and lack of monsoon. But I want to be able to capitalize off of that. So if I have a big empty pot that I'm not using at that time, I'm just going to compost directly in it, keep feeding it, and keep getting all of those worm castings, and then just dump them into one of my beds when the soil gets low and they need it. And then I can plant something else later. Now tucked away in here we have some more cabbage growing right here. I want to say these ones are Jersey cabbages too. We have some cilantro right there, more collards in here with some romaine lettuce there, and then also some more celery. We're going to do a big celery harvest, guys, because I have brought out the dehydrator. We also have a romaine tomato over there, which needs to get vined up so it'll stop looking so raggedy, and just like cilantro just kind of tucked in places. Moving on down here, we have our lemongrass that we've been using. I made some more bone broth, so it's been chopped out a little bit more. And then we also have our broccoli. My broccoli is starting to separate. It didn't get a giant head, but it's not too bad. I can still do a lot with this, and there are also shoots already forming. So today, probably later today or tomorrow, I'm gonna come in and grab at least this one, and then I'm gonna let these other ones just continue to grow. Looks like we have broccoli on the list for dinners this week. And then we have cilantro, which the cilantro is going to seed. So I am going to harvest a lot of this and make a cilantro soup for you guys. I've been waiting for it to grow. It's grown, so we're gonna make that. We have some parsley, and then we have these random peas that, look at this, they're now deciding to pop up. That is not gonna last, so we're probably just gonna pull those. I'm gonna fix this little trellis that I have going on here that has been destroyed by all types of weather things. And then I'm gonna plant my bush cucumber back on there later in the spring. We have some Ukrainian gold beets on this side, which, look at that. It is starting to grow a beet. And then we have little baby beets back there. And then we have our Detroit Reds. Look at those. Starting to grow some beets right here. These leaves are so gorgeous. I am gonna trim some of them back, and we're gonna use that in some salad because I do wanna plant a tomato right here. Now I have been working on my compost, guys, where I've just been really feeding my worms. I just put a banana peel, the banana peel I was eating this morning in my short. I put that down in here, and then we've just been throwing some greens and stuff like that in there. And as you can see, we're starting to get some, let that focus, we're starting to get some worm castings. They look very granular compared to like dirt. So, but I'll do a whole video about that because I've had a lot of questions. But yeah, this is getting like active again, and the worms are in there because we're gonna need some dirt for the spring. Now guys, I'm not at a point to where I can produce all the compost that my garden needs. It needs a lot of compost, but I am at the point to where I can produce a lot of the worm castings, and I don't have to buy worm castings and a lot of like fertilizers. I do fish fertilizer every now and then. One of those big jugs can last me like an entire year, and the rest I just use worm castings and put those everywhere in my garden. I can also make worm tea as well with the compost bin here. So it's helpful, but one day I'll have a big space to where then I can do my own composting. Now over here we have my absolute favorite peppers. These ones are my sweet Marconi peppers. I am just waiting for these ones to turn red so I can start eating them, and hopefully they grow some more too. They grew a lot during the winter, which are these big peppers right here, and then I'm starting to get some flowers, so hopefully we can get another group of them during the spring. We have some Thumb Tom tomatoes down here that look a little rough, but these ones are fine. That one is looking dead. So yeah, they're my novelty item that I grow. They're not really delicious unless you let them completely ripen on the vine, and then I still wouldn't say they're delicious, but they're doable. and they're fun to grow in little pots. And then we have our lemon balm right here that is trying to spread out and do even more with life. We have our yarrow growing here that is also trying to spread out. And we have some hyssop that is looking like it's making a comeback here and there. Pretty excited about that because I would love some hyssop. I'm gonna pull these nasturtiums behind here because I don't want them growing into my AC unit. But look guys, I have a nasturtium down there that's growing really well. I'm gonna let this one grow out and just kind of cover this area and live its best life and mostly try to avoid stepping on it. But yeah, I really don't want those growing into there because that happened before and it was bad. But I do want to have nasturtium in my garden. Now we also have our big beefsteak tomato. This is the one that I plant for my mom because it was her favorite when she was alive. And we have them on mighty crops. There's like a mighty crop there that's completely covered, and now it's almost reached this one. Now guys, I get the question all the time. Now guys, people say all the time like I'm crazy for planting things over the winter because it's just too much work. But we are desert gardeners and we can get the most out of our desert garden if we plant things in the fall and just cover them. Like if you want those tomatoes earlier on before there's hornworms, before it's super hot, and before you're getting them diseased and losing them and just having a bunch of issues, plant them in the fall. You just gotta cover them with a little bit of like a blanket or a tarp or something. Yes, it sucks to have to run out here, cover them after you've been covering things with shade cloth all summer, but look at this. It's so healthy and happy. And there's no hornworms because who wants a hornworm? Nobody. Now moving down along here in my kids' Vego garden bed, we have potatoes. Potatoes are growing in again. I'm super excited. Once I get a lot of growth in here and they get a little crazy, then I'm gonna fill it up with dirt to the top, and then I'm going to, well, compost. I'm gonna fill it up with compost to the top, and then I'm gonna add in my beans, which is nice because, you know, we have a bean that's just sitting here drying with at least 2 seeds in it. So there we go, head start. These ones are my rattlesnake pole beans that they lasted way more, but only one. So I only got like 5 beans off of that plant. But I'm excited. They're gonna be on the arches, and then the potatoes are gonna be at the bottom. And this year I planted way more, planting them. This is my second time planting in this pot, or this bed, so I'm pretty excited about that. Now guys, look at how pretty this is. I swear, even though cauliflower is a pain in the butt to grow, look at how gorgeous it looks. It's just so gorgeous, so beautiful. So we have little cauliflowers here, there. I think we might even have one coming in. Yep, one's coming in there. Just so beautiful. It's one of my pride and joys, even though I don't grow a lot of it, and we don't eat a lot of cauliflower, but I do love growing it, and I do love roasted cauliflower. Now someone is coming back to life. This one is my dwarf mulberry that doesn't feel too dwarfed because it's huge. But it is starting to green back up. That's how you know spring in the desert is happening. Now guys, we got a ton of rain, like a ton of rain. I'm gonna show you the buckets that I've managed to capture a little bit of rain in, but we got a ton. So that's why the garden is so like awake and live and vibrant right now. So guys, I am ready to plant out more of these Dollar Tree pots. It is time. Currently right now we have some celery in it, some spinach in it, some more thumb tom tomatoes in there, and then we have some lettuce and some parsley. But this is going to get a lot of bush beans. Now we have more potatoes growing. I'm growing more potatoes here in this pot. This one is red potatoes, the other one's Yukon Gold. And then we have some thyme up here and here because we use a lot of thyme, and our curry tree. This year I'm going to try and get the curry tree into a bigger pot so that then it has more room for its roots, because I saw somebody with the curry tree online and it was like huge. It was huge. Now back here we have our purple top turnip, which look, you can see a little turnip coming in there. And then we planted Yuli number 2. This one is a grape, and as soon as it went into the ground, it started to grow a little flower, or at least like leaves or something. So it is starting to grow. We're excited about that. Yuli, your number 2 namesake, is in there. I swear it's so nice having the garden so full right now and just really doing well. Now guys, I also have been making some medicinal medicine videos. I'm trying to do them every Friday. I know those videos don't get a lot of views because they don't get seen a lot, which is annoying. Like, it's something that YouTube doesn't like promote, but I do think that they're helpful. So as long as you guys know that I am making them for you guys and to try and help you guys. I did one on asthma, like an in-depth, detailed, like, this is what you do, this is what's causing it, this is how you avoid allergies, lung issues, all those different things. So make sure you guys go check that out. I'm posting them every Friday. Now we have our dwarf Mexican lime. It is starting to really come back and really put in more leaves and new branches. So I'm hoping that we get some fruit this probably spring, or not spring, but probably fall is when we'll get some fruit in there. So you guys, look at all the water in my bucket. Yay! Now I don't have any like big huge way of gathering a whole bunch of water, but we do what we can with the rain that we're given. It's easier to catch it right here in this spot, so, but it also gave me a little bit of run over here. I'm gonna put a lid on this and try and use it later when I'm fertilizing with some fish fertilizer. Now over here we have some green onions here. We have some celery right there with some dwarf kale, some collard greens with some more dwarf kale, some celery right there in the middle. We have some fingerling carrots behind there with some garlic there and there. Up here we have some more garlic right here, one more garlic right here. I might plant something else in here if another garlic doesn't pop up. And then we have some more collards back here with our beautiful curly collard, and then some more celery right here. Now over here we have Diane back there, who has not flowered yet, but it's looking more and more like a serrano, guys. And then we have an Anaheim pepper right here. And remember that pepper we thought was a jalapeno? It's finally starting to fruit. I don't think it's a jalapeno because these are yellow. Guys, I think it is a Hungarian wax pepper. I'm so excited because I remember planting the seeds. All of my peppers got mixed up as well as my tomatoes. And I was like, I didn't remember planting it, so I didn't think that I had one. And because I thought the seed didn't pop up. But this, I'm excited. It's either a Hungarian wax pepper or a banana pepper, but either one of those I'm excited about. So we have our jalapeno over here. Now this one, I cut all of the peppers off of it so that it can kind of grow itself back. We have some more little leaves coming in here, so hopefully that will flower soon and give us another flushing of peppers during the spring. Still gotta plant that sweet alyssum, but we also have our cayenne pepper over here, which, look at how bright and beautiful these things are when they come in. So beautiful. We have some more peppers on here too. Can't wait to make this seasoning. And that's it, guys. The sun is starting to come out. As you can see, this part of my garden is already pretty bright and light, and we're gonna let it absorb all of this beautiful Arizona sun that it can and continue to grow. But until next time, grow yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye, guys.